You are a warrior, and this is your luck. You were born ready, not fearless, ready. There's a difference. Fearless means you don't feel it. Ready means you feel everything and you move anyway. The universe put you here, in this body, with these hands, at this exact moment in history, where a human being can choose to stand between chaos and order and say, I will hold this line. And you do, every single time. That alone is a miracle. Your home, the battlefield, the training hall, the moment before the door opens. It doesn't matter where. Pick the hardest version of your life. That's your home now. The beginning. You didn't choose this. It chose you. Maybe it was a father who trained you before you could understand why. Maybe it was a moment of danger where everyone froze and you moved. Your body moved before your mind gave permission. Something in your chest ignited. Not courage, something older than courage. Instinct, like a language you were born speaking. You started small, push-ups until your arms failed. Then the next day, more. A fight you didn't win. Then another you almost won. Then one you won clean. Your first real test is embarrassing in retrospect. You were slow, obvious, breathing wrong, everything wrong. But when it was over, the world looked different, sharper, more real. Everything unnecessary had burned away. That clarity, you've been chasing it ever since. The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in battle. Ancient military proverb. Your inventory. Your body, not a gift, a project. You built this with years of work that nobody watched and nobody applauded. Every morning when the alarm rang and every part of you said not today, you got up anyway. That discipline is your primary weapon. Everything else is secondary. Your hands, calloused, strong, precise, they know things your mind has forgotten. Muscle memory is not metaphor. It is a literal archive of 10,000 repetitions stored in the tissue itself. Discipline, the armor you wear every day, not just in battle. The thing that decides what you eat, when you sleep, how you train, what you refuse. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is the agreement you made with yourself when you decided this life was worth living fully. A clear mind under pressure. This took longer than the physical training, longer and harder. A body can be forced, a mind has to be persuaded. The work of persuading your own mind, of learning to be still inside the storm, this is the real training. This never ends. Patience, because most of what warriors do is wait. The fight is seconds, everything before it is years. And this, the knowledge of what you are willing to die for. Not a slogan, not an abstraction, a specific, named, felt answer to the hardest question. Without this, you are just a weapon with no direction. With it, you are something the world has always needed. Your body. Your body is not yours. It belongs to the mission. That sounds brutal. It is. You made peace with it long ago. The body that wakes at 4 in the morning and runs in the rain and lifts what it doesn't want to lift and trains when it's injured, that body is not living for comfort. It is living for capability. There is a difference between the two that most people never feel. At rest, you're ordinary, a face in the crowd, unremarkable to anyone who doesn't know what to look for. But in the moment that requires everything, in the 3 seconds of absolute commitment, when ordinary people lock up, you are different. Not because you were born different, because you made yourself different, one session at a time for years. The body breaks. This is not failure. This is information. A torn muscle tells you what you pushed past. A cracked rib tells you what you miscalculated. Injuries are the mountain's honest feedback. You receive them, you heal, you return stronger, not despite the breaking, but because of it. Your hands, scarred across the knuckles, the palms calloused and mapped with 100 small decisions, missing the full range of motion in 2 fingers, an old injury, a fight that went longer than it should have. You thought you'd be done. You weren't. You were lucky. You are always lucky. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. G. Michael Hopf. The training. 4 in the morning. The alarm doesn't startle you. You are already half awake. You've been lying in the dark running scenarios, calculating variables, deciding who you need to be today. There is no such thing as an off day. There are days you train hard and days you train smart. Both are mandatory. You get up. You make your bed, not because anyone will see it, but because the first act of the day should be an act of order imposed on chaos. You eat what the body needs, not what it wants. You dress for work that no one will celebrate. First movement into the cold morning. The training floor at this hour is a different world. The casual are still asleep. Only the committed are here. The ones who understood that the fight is won or lost in the preparation, never in the moment. You are small in this space. The work is large. You begin. The repetitions are not interesting. This is the point. A warrior's life is 90% unglamorous repetition. The same drill again. The same movement again, 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 until the body does it without permission, until the action has been stored so deep it lives below thought. This is the work, not the battle, the preparation for the battle that may never come, and the absolute readiness for the one that will. The moment everything goes wrong. It happens. Whatever you prepared for, reality is different. The plan breaks. The situation is not what the briefing said. Someone is down. The ground is wrong. The numbers are wrong. You are exposed in a way that was not supposed to happen. This is the moment. Not the training, not the ceremony, not the moment of departure with purpose in your chest. This is the actual test. And the test is not, can you execute the plan? The test is, when the plan is gone, what are you? You don't freeze. You've trained specifically against freezing. Your body moves to the first correct action before your mind has finished reading the situation. That delay, the gap between action and understanding, is what separates the trained from the untrained. You are not untrained. You move. Everything is noise and speed and decisions with no time to make them properly. You make them anyway. Not perfectly. Perfectly is not available in this room. Good enough to survive. Good enough to keep the person beside you surviving. Then it's over. Then the stillness comes. You check. Who is here? Who is not? The accounting that follows every worst moment. This is the part nobody shows in the movies. The movies show the fight. Real warriors remember the silence after. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the judgment that something else is more important than fear. Ambrose Redmoon. Personal thought. I have been afraid every single time. Every time. Anyone who tells you they weren't afraid is either lying or wasn't paying attention. Fear means your body understands the stakes. The training doesn't remove the fear. It teaches you to act alongside it, to let fear inform you without letting it command you. The bravest thing I ever did was move when every cell in my
body said stop. That is the only bravery that counts. Waiting. Most of what warriors do is wait. Nobody tells you that. The stories show the battle. The battle is the smallest fraction. Before it, weeks, months of preparation, of standby, of readiness maintained for a moment that may or may not arrive. You must be capable of absolute violence and absolute patience simultaneously. This is the contradiction at the center of this life. You carry it. You wait in rooms that smell of sweat and oil and quiet dread. You wait in places so still that the silence has texture. You wait with people who don't speak because they've already said everything that needs saying and the rest is just noise. Your unit, the people beside you. This is the thing the outside world misunderstands most completely. They think the motivation is ideology or country or cause, sometimes. But in the moment, in the actual, specific, unrepeatable moment, that is enough. That is everything. Because the only life worth living is the one that costs you something real, and you paid every single time, willingly.